This video will introduce you to the Delta Math program, which is a new tool that we will be using during distance learning. You should have already created a Delta Math account using the instructions found in OneNote. Now let's sign in and see what it looks like. Go to deltamath.com to get the following page. To sign in, it asks you for your email address and password. You did not enter an email address when you created your account, so you're going to type in your username and then your password. This is what it looks like when you sign in. Okay, the page will show you your upcoming assignments and your completed assignments. So down here you can see that I have completed sample assignment number 1, which was due on April 29th, and I have a grade of 100% on that because I fully completed that assignment. Up here is my upcoming assignments. It's called sample assignment 2. It's due on May 8th at 8 a.m. Okay, as you can see, this assignment has 3 sections, 1, 2, 3. And over here it tells you how many questions you need to complete in each section. So section 1, I'm going to have to complete 3 questions, 2, I'm going to have to complete 2, and section 3, I'm going to have to complete 1 question. So let's go into the first section right here and see what it looks like. The problem is solve for S, and you're given a linear equation. So I would have to do the opposite of subtracting 6 to solve this, or opposite of adding 6 to solve this equation, and I would get an answer of S equals -14. To enter your answer, put your cursor in the box and just type in -14. You don't have to put S equals. Click submit. It'll ask you to verify your solution. You click yes, and I've got a check mark right here, so I got that answer right. Whether you got it right or wrong, it's always going to show you a solution to the question. So if you got it wrong, go back and check what you did wrong. Okay, I want to show you up here, you'll see your score is now 1 because you got 1 question right, and your record is 1 out of 3 because you've completed 1 correct question out of 3 that you are required to do. Okay, now I'm going to click up here, next problem, to go on to the next problem. And with this, I wanted to show you that you have 2 attempts to get the right answer for each question right here. So it says attempt 1 out of 2. So say that I did this question, I added 4 to both sides, and I thought the answer would then be 6. Okay, when I submit my answer, it's going to give me this notice. Your answer is not correct. Try to find your mistake. You have 1 attempt remaining. So I'm going to click OK, and now I'm on the 2nd attempt. Okay, so I'm going to realize that I put in the wrong answer there. If I add 4 to both sides, I actually get -6. I'm going to submit. And now that I got it correct, okay? You are not penalized for getting answers wrong. So you'll see here that now I have a record of 2 out of 3. I've got 2 questions right out of 3 that I'm required to do, okay? Let me go to next problem, and let me show you what happens if you answer the question incorrectly on both attempts. So if I add 3 to both sides here, maybe you think the answer is -4. I'm going to submit that and see that that's wrong. It'll say I have 1 more attempt. So maybe I think that instead it's -2. I'm going to submit that. Okay. And I'm going to get an X here to tell me that it's wrong, and I'm going to look at the solution here to figure out what I did wrong, okay? Go back up here to your record. My record is still 2 out of 3. Like I said, there's no penalty for getting wrong answers, but you have to keep going until you answer, in this case, 3 questions correctly, okay? So I'm going to go to next problem. I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. That will give me an answer of -3. I submit that. Okay, that is correct. And now you see over here, I have a record of 3 out of 3. I've completed this section of the assignment. Okay, now you might look over here and say, well, if I completed it, why is my complete percentage 33%? That's because I've only done 1 out of the 3 sections that are in this assignment. So 1 out of 3 is 33%. Okay, so I have to go back and I have to answer the other sections. Now, what if I kept going? So next problem. You're going to get this message and it says, congratulations, you have met the required number of problems. To move on to the next section, press the back button. Okay, I can still answer this question. So if I wanted to subtract 6 from both sides, I'd get an answer of -12. I submit that. I got it right, okay? My completion rate is still 33%. My record now, though, is I've done 4, and I was only required to do 3. So you can do extra problems if you would like. Let's go back, though, and see what our main page looks like again. So now you see that this section is checkmarked off. I've done 4 out of 3. My completion rate is 33%. And I have 2 other sections right here to complete. It doesn't matter what order that you do them in, okay, but you must do both of them to complete the assignment. So let's go into this second section, okay? This is, again, solving for y, but I wanted to show you how to enter a fraction. So if 2 equals 12y, I would have to divide both sides by 12 in order to isolate y, and I'd get 2 over 12, which reduces to 1 over 6. To enter in a fraction, type the numerator, and then the backslash button will make it into a fraction, and then the denominator. Okay, so I got that one correct. My record is 1 out of 2. Let's go on to the next problem. It's still going to be a fraction here. I'm going to divide both sides by -9. So I get -12 over -9. The negative divided by a negative cancels, and 12 divided by 9 reduces to 4 over 3. So my answer is 4 over 3. Another thing I wanted to show you right here is this little keyboard. If you click that, you're going to get these symbols here. So another way of entering a fraction is to type the numerator 4, and then the divided by sign will make it into a fraction, and then 3. I'm going to submit my answer, and I got that correct. So now my record here is 2 out of 2. I've completed this section. I'm going to press back, and now there's a check mark beside the second section, okay? And my completion, or my grade in this assignment, is now 67%. And that's because I've completed 2 out of 3 sections, and 2 out of 3 is the same as 67%. Let's answer the last section here, combining like terms. And what I wanted to show you with this is how to enter in exponents, okay? So if I look at this question and I collect together the x cubed terms, here's 4x cubed plus 6x cubed gives me 10x cubed, minus 4x cubed would now give me 6x cubed. To type that in, I'm going to press 6x, and there's a shortcut for exponents. You press Shift 6, and it'll move the cursor up, and I can put 3, okay? Then press the arrow button in order to move the cursor back down to type in the rest of the answer. So I think there is a 7y squared here. So 7y, there's another way that I can enter in exponents. I'm going to show you. Press the keyboard, okay? And these 2 buttons right here, a squared or a to the b, will also allow you to do exponents. So I'm going to press a squared, and it puts the squared there, okay? And now let's collect the constant terms. So -1 minus 6 is -7, plus 5 is -2. Let me submit that answer, which is correct. My record is 1 out of 1, so I've completed this section. I'm going to press back, and I'm going to notice that all 3 of the sections are checked off, and my grade for the assignment is 100% because I've completed all the required questions. So that was a brief intro into Delta Math. I hope you enjoy this new tool. To log out, just press the arrow button in the top corner here.